All right, listen up. Look at this number, 20. For decades, we've operated on a foundational myth, the myth of absolute, untouchable American air power. Well, as of today, that myth has been completely shattered.
Welcome. This is more than just an update, it's a critical briefing. We're going to do a deep and, honestly, a pretty unflinching dive into how the US lost 20 aircraft over Iran in just 3 weeks. And let me be clear, this isn't just about counting planes. This is about a fundamental shift in the very nature of war, a shift that you are going to have to face as leaders.
Now, before you think this is some kind of enemy propaganda, let's get our facts straight. These numbers? They come directly from the Air and Space Forces Journal. That's the official magazine for an association of active duty and retired U.S. Air Force members. And when a group that pro-American admits to numbers this bad, you can bet on one thing. This is the best-case scenario. The reality is probably even worse.
I mean, that quote from their own analysis says it all, doesn't it? The age of just showing up and dominating is over. What we're seeing right now is a painful, necessary moment of truth for the entire U.S. military. Stay till the end because some shocking things I'm going to reveal in this explainer. Okay, let's dive into this.
First things first, we have to understand exactly what we lost. These are not just abstract figures on a page. They are cold, hard data points that represent a catastrophic failure. A failure in our tech, in our strategy, and in political judgment. These are the facts you need to burn into your memory so you don't repeat these mistakes.
So let's break this down, because the details here are what really matter. 12 MQ-9 Reapers gone. We'll talk about their insane price tag in a second. 3 F-15 Strike Eagles, the workhorse of the Air Force, one of them tragically to friendly fire. But here's the real gut punch, the most strategically devastating loss. 4 KC-135 Stratotankers. These are flying gas stations. Without them, our ability to project power anywhere in the world, what we call the air bridge, it just collapses. And then, the one everyone is whispering about, the crown jewel. 1 F-35 Lightning II, engaged, hit, and damaged.
And about those drones, let's put that loss into perspective. A single MQ-9 Reaper costs nearly $100 million. You know what costs less than that? A frontline, Russian-made Su-30 MKI fighter jet. We sold these drones to the world as these invincible, all-seeing eyes in the sky. Well, Iran just proved they're not. The financial hit is massive, sure, but the blow to our perceived technological dominance, you can't even put a price on that.
Which brings us to the most terrifying question to come out of this whole mess. How in the world did the F-35, the most expensive weapon system in human history, get hit by Iran? How did they just bypass a defense system that has cost trillions of dollars?
You see, the F-35's whole magic trick is based on one thing, its radar cross-section. The entire jet is designed to be a ghost, to absorb and deflect radar waves so that on an enemy's screen, this massive fighter jet looks about the size of a metal marble. It's supposed to be invisible.
But here's the thing. Iran didn't play by our rules. They didn't try to find the marble in the middle of a hurricane. They used a completely different tactic, passive infrared sensors. Think of it this way. Radar shouts into the darkness and listens for an echo. These IR sensors, they don't make a sound. They just sit there, silently, and they listen for heat. And this right here is the F-35's Achilles heel. All our stealth technology is designed to beat active radar. A pilot's warning system screams bloody murder when it's being painted by a radar beam. But against a passive IR sensor, total silence. And that F-35 engine, as powerful as it is basically a giant bonfire in the cold sky. The pilot had no idea a missile was even locked on until it was just seconds away. For the people of the Pentagon, that realization is absolutely earth-shaking.
But look, this technological failure didn't just happen on its own. It was the predictable result of a catastrophic political blunder, a complete failure to listen to professional military advice at the very highest levels. This is the explicit warning that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Gen Kane, gave to the Trump administration before this all kicked off. He told them point blank, "Our munitions are low from supporting Ukraine and Israel. Our allies in the region won't fully back us." He laid out all the risks.
And what was the response from the political leadership? While the nation's top general was warning about empty shelves and unacceptable risk, the president was on social media talking about his big, beautiful jets. The gap between military reality and political perception, it couldn't have been wider. And so what happened? Well, every single thing General Kane predicted came true. Munitions are critically low. Regional support has been lukewarm at best. Oh, and Iran successfully shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which puts a chokehold on the world's energy supply. Now, the very idea of American power projection is being questioned everywhere, from Beijing to Moscow. This is the price of ignoring sound military advice.
Okay, so that brings us to this very moment. The situation right now is unbelievably tense. There's a deadline just days away, and the entire world is basically holding its breath, wondering if this whole thing is about to explode into a global catastrophe. This Friday is the deadline, and President Trump is playing his classic madman theory. Threatening all-out war one minute and hinting at a ceasefire the next. So what is it? Is this just a negotiating tactic, a bluff to get around to back down? Or is he actually willing to double down on what is clearly a losing hand?
And the pieces being moved into place are absolutely terrifying. We're talking about over 500,000 U.S. troops being repositioned in the region. Airborne divisions are on high alert. A 3rd carrier strike group is steaming into position. Folks, this is the biggest military buildup we have seen in decades.
If the talking stops, the next military option on the table is an amphibious landing. And let's be blunt, military experts are calling this plan suicidal. The Iranian coast isn't Normandy Beach. It is a fortress, absolutely bristling with advanced anti-ship missiles and thousands upon thousands of drones. A beach landing would be a bloodbath on a scale the American public hasn't witnessed in generations. So let's just step back for a second and really absorb the biggest lesson from the last 3 weeks. Because what we're watching is a new rulebook for war being written in real time, and it's being written in blood. The bottom line is this. The era of the untouchable American superpower, where our expensive, high-tech toys could go anywhere and do anything without consequence, that era is over. Iran, a determined and frankly a very clever middle power, has just proved that it can bleed a superpower. It can take the punches and hit back hard enough to make the costs unacceptable. This is the new reality of warfare. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. As the next generation of military leaders, what is the real lesson here? Is it about better tech? Is it about politics? Or is it about strategy? And here's the fundamental question you are all going to have to grapple with in your careers. After seeing its main advantage get neutralized, was the F-35 program, the most expensive in history, actually worth the trillions we spent on it? I'd genuinely like to know what you think in the comments. For more analysis like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All the source material for this briefing is linked in the description below. Read it, study it, stay vigilant, and stay informed. Dismissed.